How's it going today, guys? Today's topic of discussion is the importance of consistency. So I recently had one of my best buddies, Sam Lister, on my podcast, and this was a topic that we dove into pretty quickly. So I wanted to do a piece of content on Inside an Accountant's Mind about it as well. I think one of the most overlooked areas when people are looking to grow, looking to master a skill, etc., is the importance of consistency. Now that we've done, I believe, 50 episodes of Inside an Accountant's Mind, which is a staggering number to me, by the way, as someone who's never been able to create content consistently, I'm very proud of myself that I've gotten to this point, and it's been crazy to me to see the growth, not only from episode 1 to this current episode, but also looking back on the first, pieces of content that I ever made years ago and how uncomfortable I was. It literally used to take me 2 to 3 hours to record a 45 to 60-second skit. If you don't believe me, ask Sam Lister, because I've been working with Blank Slate Media for years, and there were many painful afternoons where we would try to get content done. And basically, that leads into the entire point of this video, which is that consistency is key, and continuing to step up to the plate, even if you're not a master at a skill. One of the things that we went through on the podcast, and I won't go super in depth into this specific example because I explained it on the podcast, and I'm sure we'll clip that at some point as well. But basically, I had an example of this pop up in my day-to-day life a few days ago where I was doing basically an Excel project, putting together all of these different platforms and data that a client has and bringing them all into one and making sense of all of the numbers, basically for a manufacturing company, tying the revenue to the COGS, to the money coming in and everything in relation to that. And at the same point in my life that I consider myself to be, I'll never say an expert, but I would say I'm very confident in my accounting abilities. But at the same time, I'm doing content where I'm a novice. And I'm also starting to try to make music, which I am an absolute novice in. And in these two areas of my life, I have, in the content creation and the music side, I almost have this expectation that I should be able to master it and that I should be an expert. But the fact of the matter is, I haven't taken enough at bats. Half of them, even at 50 videos, I've only stepped up to the plate 50 times. And it was almost this light bulb moment that went off that made me realize how important consistency is in becoming a master and becoming good at something and to have something pay off. So for me, throughout my accounting life, I've never thought, well, I should be this good. Or at every stage, I've always thought I was the best that I could be. I thought every single, spreadsheet I put together when I was 17 years old was just absolutely masterful and that there's no way somebody could do it better. And obviously I know now that that's not the case, but I had almost this delusion and ignorance and confidence in what I was doing that I just never doubted that there was a way to do anything better. And with content and music, I look at that so differently. I look at that I look at, people that make music that I really enjoy and I'm like, well, mine's nowhere near that, so this sucks. And with content, I watch back some of my videos and I'm just like, ugh, I shouldn't have said that, or I should have said that differently, or man, you got to be more loosey-goosey, and basically in that same kind of comparison thing. And as I said, I put together this spreadsheet for this client, and then it was just a weird moment hearing them, be very thrilled with what I put together. And then my mind just went, wait, this makes complete sense. I've consistently been doing accounting for 8 years now, which is fucking wild to me. 8 years I've been doing accounting. And I've been doing content for 50 days. And I know I've done it periodically, 5 videos here, 5 videos there. But I've literally done, maybe my entire life, 60, 70 pieces of content. I've done accounting for 8 years for 15 hours a day. How do I expect to have, some level of popularity or excellence in this content craft when I've only stepped up to the plate 60 times? How do I expect to make good music or good beats, which is subjective anyway, by the way, all of that is. But how do I expect to when I've only tried to make 10 of them? It's crazy to me that in this area of life that I've now, by some definitions of the word, have mastered, I now almost expect me to master every other aspect when really I'm literally 17 years old again in comparison to, my accounting story in creating content. I'm 15 years old or 16 years old in creating music. And that honestly lit a fire inside me to be like, man, I'm going to master these crafts. And I'm not worried about how this video performs or how the next 100 videos perform. Because I know when I have video 4,000, that shit's gonna be popping. Because consistency is key. Every single video that I do, whether it gets 1 view, 10 views, or 25 views, and hopefully someday like 100 views on a video, all of them are just reps. I heard this in an interview a few months back. I think it was Russ, the rapper that had said it. Maybe it was the interviewee or interviewer who said it. But basically, every single time that I press record on this video, or every single time that I sit down at the computer to try to make a beat, it's another rep. Every single time that you step up to the plate, it's another, practice swing, and it's another rep, which you need to put in 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 reps before you can even think or even expect to be good at something. So now that I have that mentality and that attitude, because trust me, I've put in 500,000, I've put in millions of reps in the accounting world. And now I'm like, I've got that same level of excitement, like, oh, well, I've just got to put in 1,000,000 reps in the content game. I've got to put in 1,000,000 reps in making beats. And if I don't, then I cannot have the audacity to think that I should be good at it. So consistency is key. I do these videos each and every day because every day I step up to the plate, even if I don't feel like doing it, even if I, don't have anything really to talk about, because the at-bats are what's important. The reps are what's important. Consistency is key, so go out and get after it. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to talking with you again soon.